Located along the King's Highway, a place renowned as the City of Mosaics, Madaba boasts a rich tapestry of history dating back centuries. The story of Madaba began since at least 3500 BC, where the fertile and rich grazing land surrounding Madaba attracted human settlement. Madaba particularly flourished during the Roman, Byzantine, and early Islamic periods. This is the hotel. Moab Land Hotel. Chickmobile is still here. Let's get it. Like, lots to do. Driving through the streets of Madaba. Since the 7th and 8th centuries, Madaba's Muslim and Christians have been living together peacefully. It was a devastating earthquake in the year 747 that led to the gradual abandonment of the town. Fast forward to 1880, Madaba experienced a revival when 90 Arab Christian families resettled its ruins, and while digging the foundation for their homes, uncovered the city's greatest treasures. The true gems of Madaba are its exquisite mosaics, forming one of the world's largest collections, with some dating back over 1400 years, and the most famous of them being the Madaba mosaic map of the Holy Land. Discovered in 1896, this remarkable piece is believed to be the oldest surviving map of Palestine. This mosaic, written in Greek, crafted around 560 CE, spans an impressive 25 by 5 meters, composed of over 2.3 million pieces. It depicts detailed plans of Jerusalem, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Dead Sea, the Jordan River, and various cities like Nablus, Hebron, Jericho, all the way to Egypt and the Nile River. The University of Toronto has played a pivotal role in uncovering Madaba's historical layers, excavating the West Acropolis since 1996. This open field has revealed the city's occupation from modern times down to early Bronze Age periods. Driving along the King's Highway, I noticed a small gift shop on the side overlooking the valley. I decided to make a U-turn and check it out. The gift shop was a treasure trove of items and souvenirs, a showcase of Jordanian culture and craftsmanship. The shopkeeper was very kind and even offered to tie my shimao the Jordanian Bedouin style, and for the view overlooking the valley, it did not disappoint. A mesmerizing route that weaves through the heart of Jordan, the King's Highway connects the cities like Madaba, Amman, Mutah, and the iconic Petra. This isn't just any road. It stands as one of the world's oldest continuously used communication routes. During the Iron Age, states like Edom, Moab, and Ammon relied on the King's Highway for trade. Fast forward to the classical period where the Nabateans turned this road into a trade route for luxury goods, while the Roman Emperor gave it a facelift, renaming it to the Via Nova Traiana to enhance transportation between Syria and the Dead Sea. The King's Highway played a pivotal role during the Crusades, with numerous fortified castles built along its routes. During periods of truce, the Hajj caravans were usually left unharmed by the Crusader lords. However, Reynaud of Chatillon attacked and plundered the pilgrims twice. His deeds eventually led to his own death at the hands of Salahuddin al-Ayyubi and the fall of the Crusader kingdom in 1187 in the Battle of Hattin. And during the Muslim rule, the King's Highway continued to be the primary Hajj route from Syria to Mecca. It was this route that T.E. Lawrence, also known as the Lawrence of Arabia, took to Cairo to inform British intelligence of the Arab victory at Aqaba in July 1917. Let's take a moment to appreciate the breathtaking views along the King's Highway. From historical sites to the grand valleys and winding roads, this trip offers a spectacular experience. Driving along the King's Highway from Amman, it's like taking a time-traveling road trip through the ages of the Islamic Empire. The Battle of Mutah took place in September of 629. This historic clash occurred near the village of Mutah, situated in the south of Jordan. Alright, well, when we run into traffic, we know we've hit a new city. So this is the town of Mutah, Jordan. It was a fierce confrontation between the Muslims and the Byzantine Empire, marking a significant chapter in the spread of Islam beyond Mecca and Medina. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ sent Al-Harith bin Umair al-Azdi to the governor of Busra in modern-day Syria with an invitation to Islam. The people were Arab, but they were Christian and were subject to the Byzantine Empire. On his way to Busra, Al-Harith was intercepted, murdered, and crucified by Al-Ghassani, the governor of a nearby town and a close ally to the Byzantines. This heinous act considered a severe crime and tantamount to a declaration of war. Upon hearing the news, the Prophet Muhammad was deeply affected. He swiftly ordered the mobilization of a 3,000-man army, the largest ever assembled at the time by the Muslims. The Prophet appointed Zayd bin Harith to command the army. It is narrated that the Prophet said, "If Zayd is killed, then Ja'far bin Abi Talib will be your leader, and if he is also martyred, then Abdullah bin Rawaha will take the command. If he also dies, then you can select a commander from amongst yourselves." The Prophet also mentioned that when they reach the scenes of Al-Harith's murder, invite the people to Islam. If they accept the message, then no fighting should take place. Otherwise, there is no alternative but to fight. And even during the time of war, the Prophet set out honorable rules of engagement. Do not kill women and children. Do not kill aging men or a hermit. Trees shall not be cut down, and homes shall not be destroyed. The Prophet gave Zayd a white flag made by himself. He then accompanied the army until they reached the valley of Thaniya outside of Medina and prayed for them. Abdullah bin Rawaha began to weep at that moment and mentioned that it was not the love for this world or under a motive of passion with the glamour of life, but rather the verses of the Quran he heard the Prophet reciting, a foreshadow of what was to come.
وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَّقْضِيًّا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَّقْضِيًّا.
News of the approaching Muslim army reached the Byzantines, leading to the mobilization of a vast force of 200,000 soldiers, a daunting prospect for the Muslims who only had an army of 3,000. They initially hesitated and debated for 2 nights about the unfavorable conditions, but it was Abdullah who opposed their unwillingness and addressed the Muslim army with an inspiring speech. The battle saw incredible bravery and sacrifice. Zayd bin Harith, the closest to the Prophet's heart, led with unmatched courage until he was fatally stabbed. Ja'far bin Abi Talib then took the leadership and never turned his back. In the thick of the battle, he dismounted his horse and resumed fighting until his right hand was severed. He seized the banner with his left hand until that too was severed. He then clasped the banner with both hands until he too was struck and killed. After his death, he was called the Flying Ja'far because Allah rewarded him 2 wings to fly wherever he desired in the Eternal Garden. It was reported that his body had 50 wounds and not one of them was on his back. Abdullah bin Rawaha then proceeded to take the banner and fought bravely on his horse while reciting enthusiastic verses of the Quran until he too was killed. Thereupon a man named Thabit bin al-Arqam took the banner and called upon the Muslims to choose a leader. The honor was unanimously granted to a skilled and brave fighter who was an outstanding strategist, Khalid bin Walid. Back in Medina, the Prophet mentioned that the flag has been hoisted by a sword from among the swords of Allah, leading to the honorable title given to him by the Prophet, Saifullah, the sword of Allah. It was reported that he used and broke 9 swords during that battle. Having realized the grave situation that the Muslims were in, he began to follow a different course of action, which would reveal the great strategy maker that he was. He continued to engage the Byzantines in skirmishes, but avoided pitched battle. One night he reshuffled the left and right flanks of the Muslim army and made the rear division come to the front that he had equipped with new banners. He also ordered his cavalry to retreat behind a hill during the night, hiding their movements, and then return during the daytime when the battle was resumed, raising as much dust as they could. All this was to give the impression that reinforcements had arrived from Medina and to cast fear into the hearts of the Byzantines. Seeing this new course of events, the Byzantines believed that they were being entrapped and drawn into the desert, causing them to stop their pursuit. The Muslims also were able to manage an orderly retreat back to Medina. The Muslims suffered 12 martyrs, whereas the number of casualties of the Byzantines is unknown, although the details of the battle point clearly to a large number. The Battle of Mutah had far-reaching consequences. It showcased the exceptional strength and faith of the Muslims against the mighty Byzantine Empire, a power to be reckoned with. The reputation gained in this battle laid the groundwork for the Rashidun Caliphate and the Islamic conquest of the Byzantine Empire and beyond. As I drive down the King's Highway, the echoes of the Battle of Mutah reverberate through the ages. From the conquest of Amman to the historic encounter with the Byzantine and Roman empires, the road feels like a time machine connecting me with my history, with the heroic struggles of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companions.